So, my name is Eric. This is Kumar. And we are here to share some divine inspiration with you, and we don't even know what it is yet, or at least I don't. Kumar might have some ideas of what he would like to share with you.
Yeah, just like searching for your inner thing, and I think that there is no limit for it, as much as deep you can go, and the only difference that matters is like the beginning of that phase. I mean, it needs some incident or something, to go up to that point, or something, some major change in your life. So yeah, like once you start your new phase into the search of your soul, things there you see the things, the change in the things. You become more calm from inside. So I think it's a natural process. Yeah, it's more of a natural process.
Yeah, I wish I had realized it when I was younger, just how important it is when it comes to awakening spiritually and finding your purpose. The importance of living a healthy life, and not going too overboard with alcohol, unpronounceable ingredients, I don't know, rice, sugar, pasta, all that stuff. Keep to a minimum, and get your cardio in.
I mean,
he always
the
say.
thing is, biologically, if you see, as a for a normal human being, we have like our metabolism is active till the age of 40 or 50, something like that. So I mean, if you are consuming alcohol or eating whatever shit you want, so till that age, it's like your body is capable of digesting those things or taking those things. But once you cross these barriers, things start getting difficult for you.
Yeah, and just because you
can't maintain those things.
Like, even if you're in your 20s, and I mean, have the mentality like I did in my 20s, that I'm in my 20s, I can get away with just, eating pizza every day, or just, whatever, gas station snacks and soda pop and all that BS.
Yeah.
It's like, you can get away with it, but it's still, you're not going to be functioning. You're not going to be firing on all cylinders. You're not going to be functioning at your highest capacity. You are not going to be getting any kind of spiritual revelations or divine guidance. I mean, you might, I don't know, but it's going to be kind of few and far between, in my experience, because I mean, like, you have to be in tune to those frequencies, and you have to be vibrating at a pretty high frequency already in order to do that. And so yeah, go to Nutrition World if you live in Chattanooga, or your favorite vitamin store, and consult those wizards and on what kind of vitamins you should be taking. I don't know, I feel like I have to just start every video off with that, because it's really step one, and it's, I get kind of an inside look at it, because I drive people around on Lyft, at night, and I feel like probably 70% of the people who get in my car are like, super overweight and depressed, and just like, they look like they've given up on life, and I understand all those foods and ingredients are super addictive, and it's going to take some time to wean yourself off of them, but like, trust me, like, go buy a bunch of vegetables. Buy the ones you've never heard of. Look up some recipes while you're at the store, you know? Like, try to cook as many of them as possible. Chop up vegetables. Chop up hot peppers. Grow your own peppers and fresh herbs. Put it on everything. It not only makes you feel 20 or 30% better, but it makes your food taste 20 or 30% better. And, you know, even if the planned food shortage thing turns out to be just a big rumor, it's still nice to know where your food came from. And it's a great way to get exercise. Why would you be running in place on the treadmill all day when you could just be out there swinging the pickaxe in your garden, growing your own food? It's not that hard. It just like anything, it takes effort, it takes consistency. I mean, like, you gotta form new habits, replace your bad habits with good ones. You know, set alarms on your phone to do certain things at certain times on certain days until you get in the habit of doing them, because that's really what it takes to transform your life. Replacing bad habits with good ones. Easier said than done, but definitely not impossible.
Yeah, but you know, I think that if you want this to happen, want this to reach to a huge mass of people, so that has to do with some cultural change. You know, it has to do with some cultural change, because culture is the biggest reach to every people around us. Until unless you make some change in culture regarding food revolution, like eating healthy, green, you know, whatever makes you feel good in the long term of your life. So until unless we make this as a cultural change, it's difficult to do micromanaging, like, you know, do at a micro level, because there are a huge number of people who are like consuming sugar and all these products, and they feel lazy enough to make change in their food habits. And culture plays a very huge role into that, because if you see the pop culture, if you see the dance culture, if you see the culture of movies, you know, the sports culture, none of them prioritizes promoting healthy food habits, green food habits, you know, benefit of meditation, mindfulness, something like that. So it's kind of that, man, you know. Until unless we make change in the culture, it's difficult to make it reach a wider audience.
Yeah, man. Well, I think I might have told you this story about, I mean, when we went, long story short, I used to be in this missionary organization. It was kind of a cult. Traveled around the world with them for a few years, and spent 2 or 3 months in India. And the coolest thing I've ever done in my life, you'll hear me talk about a lot probably, is going to the Himalayas. And we went camping in a city, or a tiny little town, I guess, called Ranikhet. And it was a super transformational week for me. And partially because we met, there was like in this, next to the place that we were camping, in this huge field with a bunch of water buffalo, and I mean, like, panoramic view of the Himalayas. And there was like this old sadhu type, you know, like guru type dude with the long beard, and he had three guys with him that were also camping out in his little mud hut. I guess he had built like a little hut out of mud or sticks or whatever, and it was like, you know, barely big enough for 5 of us to crawl into, but because it was so small, they couldn't invite everybody, and I was the only one who had like really tried to learn Hindi. They invited me.
The basic.
Like, and their dialect of it, I mean, I was told that somebody who speaks fluent Hindi could understand like 1 out of every 10 words of their dialect, you know. So it was an interesting experience because, I mean, on 2 fronts. First of all, because I realized later on it might have been the first time I'd ever seen somebody like actually chopping vegetables. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like working in a kitchen or something. I was like, oh, so that's how they make food over here. That's why it tastes so good. But
My
you
whole
know, like
life
he,
I have been used to watching chopping vegetables by hand.
yeah. Like I learned how to do it at Hooters. You know, shouts out to Hooters. They taught me how to chop vegetables very quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you know, it was an interesting conversation we had though, because we could barely get anything across, you know. And here I am, like, you know, a Christian missionary at the time. I mean, like, long story short, I kind of got like kicked out of the world's largest Christian missions organization because I was asking too many questions. I mean, I guess I just mostly questioned the idea that God, who's a loving father, send his children to burn for eternity, you know, because they don't call God by a certain name, like that kind of thing. And the whole like, Jesus said don't judge, but we're gonna like pass the ultimate judgment and assume that this book was not only not changed somehow for the benefit of the very corrupt church of the time, but we're just gonna assume that that it means like a literal hell or whatever, and not just, I mean, it's like I told Kamar the other day, I've met people on this earth that had made so many bad decisions that they would not be in a worse situation probably mentally if they were actually in a lake of fire. So so you know, like, what is supposed to be taken literal and what is supposed to be figurative in a book that, I mean, are we supposed to assume that everything in the book of Revelations is supposed to be taken literally? Hell fucking no.
Absolutely, man. I mean, see, these ideas are good if these are to improve your personality or basic like ethics of life, you know. But at a time, it takes toll on your boundaries, if I say, like on your
Takes its
independence,
toll, yeah.
on your independence. Like it tells like what you can do or what you can't do in your life, you know. Just like the idea of alcohol, you know, the religious group, usually all of them, like I guess almost all of them, they preaches that alcohol is negative, you know. It's bad for your spiritual experience. You get heaven or hell based on that, you know.
Right.
So I don't believe in this idea, man. I mean, if you're a good person and if you're drinking at the same time, do you deserve hell? That
Right,
just tell me.
yeah, exactly. And I feel like one of the reasons that Jesus may have spoken parables is because right and wrong might be a little different for everybody. I mean, like the guy who who's been sober for 10 years and you know is probably going to go on a bender and get a DUI if he even has one sip of beer. Yeah, that is wrong for him, but maybe not for somebody who realizes that or you know, like, has self-control and you know, like a sense of moderation. Everything in moderation, including moderation.
It's about
Shouts
it's
out
about the
to
balance.
Real One for that quote.
Nothing
One of my
is
favorite quotes ever.
nothing in extreme, you know. Nothing in extreme. Everything should be like balanced. Like if you are trying to be a good person, if you're trying to be extremely good person, it's bad for you. In some time, people will start taking benefit out of you. But if you at the same time, if you're trying to be a very bad person, it's also not good for the society. So you have to kind of make balance between the extreme, you know, both of the extreme.
Sure. Yeah, I guess that's why I gravitate towards Buddhism. You know, like when I was in India, I went to the to Sarnath, where Buddha first spoke the Four Noble Truths in Deer Park, and it was something about watching all these monks like marching around this place where he supposedly first stood up and spoke that made me want to study Buddhism.
What did the basic idea you got from there?
Well, like, you know, for one thing, it was what you just said, like the middle path. You know, it's trying to find. I mean, like Buddha was somebody who saw all the extremism in Hinduism back then. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, there's got to be you know, a more chill
Like,
way to go. You
yeah,
know,
like-
without all this extremism.
At that time, the powerful, it was kind of a same scenario. Even that time, you know, like the powerful were too much powerful. They had everything, like money, power, everything, you know, and they were the one who were enjoying everything, status, capital, whatnot. So Buddha belonged to the same group who were enjoying these rights, these higher rights and status. So he saw like everything from very close. He was a prince, you know. He was born in a king's family. So he saw everything very close, and he got to realize that nothing matters. This material thing. So I don't think like other than Buddha you can have someone, you know, as a figure to see, like a model to see, like, you know, who is like extremely used to you have been used with like material things, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so he knows the reality of life, like material thing doesn't matter. It's all about growth from inside.
Yeah. Well, they
Spirituality.
say he was like raised I don't know, like the son of a king or something, and like he had everything at his disposal, but he's one day he like snuck outside the city gates, and he saw just how much suffering was out there, you know, and decided to give up his luxurious lifestyle in pursuit of trying to solve the riddle of what makes people suffering, and is there a cure for it. And in my experience, he was correct in his conclusion that suffering is caused for the most part by our attachment, our clinging to the temporary people, places, things, and situations and outcomes. And the more you can detach yourself from all that stuff, I mean, you know, do your best by all means. But if something isn't for you, don't try to force it, you know.
I mean, I believe that people, what mistake they do is, like, for most of the people, what mistake they do this, they start seeing themselves more as a body rather than as a soul. So with that, they believe that okay, whatever things they possess around them, you know, the cars, houses, whatever relationship. So it's everything is like just for like they have like will be it will get away, you know, with time. They believe that, and that's why they put themselves, they put all their time, all their investment into those material things,
Right.
rather than investing to improve themselves, you know, from inside.
Right, and so much of it is just like people just caring way too much about what other people think about them, you know, and that's what else is status, really, you know what I mean? What does that word even mean, other than, oh wow, everybody thinks he's so cool, oh wow, he's got like all these followers or whatever on these social media platforms, as if anybody's gonna remember anything about any of that BS, you know, 100 or 1,000 years from now. I mean, and you know, I wish I could help more people wake up and realize that you only have so much time in this world to have an impact, and you live in the day and age where you can have such a huge impact, you know, like you can reach so many people and share your ideas and thoughts and conclusions with the rest of the world, because we're all in this together, and you know, and it's we can all learn from each other, you know, we all have something to teach each other, and if you're wise, you can save yourself a lot of heartache by actually listening. You know, don't wait to talk, actually listen when people are talking, listen to people's stories, and experiences because you know they can really save you a lot of trouble, for sure. It you know it's one thing I like. It's kind of a deal breaker for me with and I've learned to see it from a mile away with like friendships and relationships and everything else. Somebody who's a fucking know-it-all, you know. I dated a girl like this one time, and you know, as they said, in order to find out who you are, you first have to figure out who you're not. And it's kind of like that with dating, you know. You have to date a bunch of people and be like, oh man, okay, this quality is something that is an absolute deal breaker, you know, and I have to like be aware of that in the future, because I just literally can't be happy if that's going on. But yeah, that's one of them. But like, be teachable, you know, like be humble. It's okay to be the white belt. Nobody ever got the black belt without wearing the white belt.
You know what Buddha teaches is that start becoming aware of the things, of the feelings that you are getting every day. Different feelings you get all around the day, you know. So what Buddha tells us that start feeling those different feelings, you know. Like if you're able to judge, like okay, whatever thoughts you are getting right now is positive or negative. If you're able to judge it, you will be able to differentiate it and act on it. You know, like many people, they're just not aware about different thoughts randomly popping into their mind, and they're just randomly taking acts based on those thoughts, you know, without being aware that what will be the impact of that in near future or something like that, you know. So I believe that like what Buddha says that you know, start becoming aware of the thoughts that is coming all around the day into you. If there is negative thoughts, okay, he doesn't say that kill it or just finish it. He says that like experience it, you know. If you experience it one time, you will get to know, okay, how it feels like 2 times, 10 times. Then after a while, you will be like, okay, I now I know how it feels like, you know. It doesn't make any difference. It just puts my soul down. So you will start avoiding those feelings, you know, in the future. And then you will see like how things like start improving positively for you. So it's very important to become aware of the feelings that you get.
Yeah, it's true. You know, especially for you know, I guess I've realized that I've become more empathic over the years. You know, especially since I quit drinking alcohol and started eating healthy. You know, and I find that I have to protect my energy more. You know.
Yeah.
I can't be around people who are gonna bring me down, and I don't recommend you do it either. You know, you can for like certain periods of time. You know, you should always try to help people up when they're down if you can. You know, but it reminds me of the preface to the 48 Laws of Power, where he was talking about, if you see somebody drowning, you're a compassionate person, you might want to jump in there and try to save them, but you first have to think, am I a strong enough swimmer to support my weight and theirs? Or are they just going to pull me under the fucking water and make sure that I can never help anyone ever again? And that was me for the longest fucking time, just like, you know, and it was that whole mentality that from that missionary organization, you know, where everybody would just like give you the shirt off their back, you know, and like not even think about money. Oh, it's all God's money, you know, like just give it all away. So my mom she had dementia, you know, and my dad would give her money, you know, and when she was in the nursing home, and it would be all gone the next day. She didn't even know where it went. But it's like all the nursing home ladies, you know, they knew if they came to her with a sob story, you know, she'd be like, oh, let me just give you some money. But you know, and that's great and everything. As my buddy Pi used to say, you can only take that Gandhi shit so far, B. That's exactly what he said. And you know, and life is a balancing act. You know, it's about, like we said, finding that middle path. finding the middle path in between
Finding that balance.
being like way too generous and also putting yourself first, because just like the mask comes down in the plane, so you can put it on yourself, so that before you put it on your kid. It's the same kind of concept. Like if you're not helping yourself, I mean, if you're not living in balance yourself, if your life is out of balance, you're not going to be able to help anyone else.
And food, man. People say that, like, okay, food doesn't, like, we can manage with gym and everything, but food is really important.
It's the most important.
Yeah,
thing.
because
One of them anyways,
your thoughts, your action, your attitude, your character, food plays a major role into those things. Like if you are eating healthy food, green foods, fruits, vegetables, then I mean you start feeling better, first of all, from inside. After that, you start getting good thoughts into your mind,
Right.
which elevates you. I don't say that good in the sense of like Mahatma Gandhi good kind of vibe, something like that, but good for you, good for elevating your thing,
Yeah.
for yourself.
Yeah, man. And it really, I know we already talked about it, but like it literally cannot be said too many times. And I'm gonna end up sounding like a broken fucking record on this subject, but you cannot pass go and collect $200 until you revolutionize your nutrition process. And I highly recommend something I started doing recently. Shouts out to Tracy for teaching me all this. She used to work at Arden's Garden. Smoothies, dude. I'm telling you, frozen fruit. You got to get mangoes, or like you always got to get the mangoes, but get a few other kinds of frozen fruit, and then put them in the blender with I use unsweetened almond milk and some organic protein powder, and some greens in there in the morning, and some you can throw a jalapeno in there too. Highly recommended. Cayenne pepper on literally everything. It's like a cure and preventive for every disease, supposedly.
You have to manage, bro. I know it's difficult. Time management is difficult. We all got some work to do, some bills to pay, so we all got some work. But in the end, if you are able to, because you are doing things for yourself. It's not about other person. You are the first person that would be getting benefit out of that. Changing in food habits. Just you can just start and just for a week, for 10 days. I'm not telling make it permanent routine. Start for 10 days and
see how you feel.
Note the difference. Yeah, see the difference. How, in your thoughts, you stop getting those anger feelings and all, the feelings of jealousy and all, which with just food. I'm quoting here ancient Indian Ayurveda, based on food. What they say, what their general idea about food is. Like your behavior, everything depends on what kind of food you are consuming.
It's true. The goal is anyways to raise your frequency, and there's so many ways to do it, but I mean it's really hard to do it without these core essential things. Eating right, chop up lots of vegetables, cut out all that unpronounceable BS, like I said. Do your stretches, get yourself a yoga ball, yoga mat, and a foam roller to roll all the knots out of your back like I just did. It's like having a personal chiropractor for $15. Yeah, foam roller. Get yourself one if you don't have one. And do your stretches every morning, get your cardio in, hit the skate park,
just come outside. Outside the home.
Get outside. Get out in the in the fucking wilderness. Go to places where the population isn't dense, and go out in the woods and meditate, because that's where you get the most out of it. Go up on the mountains and Go out in the middle of nowhere, like take a trip to the Himalayas,
Yeah, yeah.
save your money. Yeah, hit up. What's
Yeah,
that temple
man.
called in southern India?
Tirupati.
Yeah, check that place out too.
It's in Tirupati. The place is Tirupati, and the temple is that Tirupati temple.
Yeah, yeah.
It's made of like pure gold.
Gold?
Yeah, the temple is pure gold.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know. Yeah, it's the one that's carved into the mountain, right? Or is that-
Yeah, I don't know it's in the mountain or not, but yeah, the temple is made of pure gold.
Dude, yeah, I mean it's really it cannot be overstated just how transformational a trip to that part of the world can be. And I know it's expensive and not everybody can afford it, you know, but if you're into spiritual growth, and you know, can just kind of like roll with the punches with third world conditions sometimes when you're out in the middle of nowhere. It is literally impossible to come back the same person
Yeah,
in that
like
place in the world.
those things are long term, but for short term, what we can do is like we can first of all we can start making micro changes in our routine, make change in the food routine, your like some workout, or just come outside the home, go for hiking or something like that, do some kind of outdoor activities.
Get out of your comfort zone, though. It's like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
super
For some
important.
time, for some time.
Well, just like breaking up with the monotony in your life. I mean, like if you ever feel bored, that's why. It's because, as they say, a comfort zone can be a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you want to grow, you gotta.
It makes you always in a comfort, peace of mind. Like, okay, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
It's
like turn, like when you take a shower, turn it all the way cold, like 3 or 4 times. Like make yourself do it. Like it's not only super
It's,
good for you, but also, just like a good way to get in the habit of stepping outside of your comfort zone. And
it's a long-term investment, man. I mean, it's a long-term investment. You see, like, you start eating shit, and with time you see, like, after like 5 years or 8 years, your health deteriorates and degrade. And you see, like, you get obese or something like that. So it's a fruit of those 5 to 6 years of sugar content that you are consuming. So in the same way, I mean, if you are changing the food, going from sugar to fruit or vegetables, cooked food, semi-cooked food, if you start making changes and you see, like, after 6 months or a year, you see the change, man. You will be like totally different state of mind.
So true.
You gotta give time. It doesn't come in a day. You gotta give time. Like 10 days, it doesn't matter. 10 days, 15 days, 6 months.
Yeah.
Just start it.
Yeah, and it's not something that you should beat yourself up over if you don't always meet goals that you set for yourself. But you should be setting goals for yourself and challenging yourself. Don't set dwarf goals. Make sure that whenever you promise yourself something, like say I'm gonna quit smoking cigarettes or whatever, when you make a promise to yourself, make sure you actually mean it, because if you do that too many times, then you get to the point where you just like stop believing yourself, and that's when you're like truly powerless, because your word is the only thing that you have in this life to create anything. You really have to be honest with yourself, though, about your limitations and also what you're capable of. Like, don't sell yourself short. You're capable of so fucking much.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can do anything you fucking want with your life. You can make YouTube videos like we're doing right now, and you can reach millions of people, and you make a pretty good living at it too, supposedly. We're gonna see. we're trying it out.
Yeah, it starts from, as I said, like starts from zero, you know.
Mhm.
So as soon as you make change in your basic routine, things gonna change. That's my belief, you know.
Yes, it's gonna change. Like, we're gonna cast those spells right now. Things are going to greatly improve in your fucking life if you're watching this. We're saying it out loud, and you know, you're gonna wake up every morning and you're gonna say, "Good things are coming my way." You're gonna manifest that shit, and you're just gonna see it happen because you're gonna be on your purpose. You're gonna be turning your bad habits into good ones. You're gonna be, you know, busting out the damn dry erase board every morning and
Have a purpose.
writing down your, was it GSD, get shit done list.
Yeah.
First things first, you know, take a picture of it, you know, so you don't forget anything from yesterday. But every day with a clean fucking slate. You
Have
know,
a purpose
like,
in life, whatever.
Yeah,
It doesn't
so-
matter like people have to praise for you or you should get praise for your work, something like that. Purpose for yourself, you know, just to face a small challenge, you know. I have
Yeah.
to cut my grass from the garden, you know. So like have that in mind, you know. Do that, you know, and you will start feeling better, man. You know,
Yeah.
It starts from micro level.
Yeah. You know, first things first. Don't minor on the fucking majors. You know, do the things that you've been procrastinating. Because, like, those are the things that you probably need to do first. And just get them out of the way. Like, get in the habit of just doing it, you know? Like, there's nothing to it but to do it. And it's so much easier if you're eating healthy, trust me. That's why we're going to reiterate this point over and over fucking again. Because, you know, you have to put ideas into action. That's what the world is all about. Like, you got to make things happen in the physical fucking world, and that takes a lot of energy. And yeah, you don't want to be putting the wrong things in your gas tank.
Yeah. I guess our words gonna reach a lot of people, you know, soon. And with this first step, we can, you know, see what changes we are going to make. But we have to be patient. That's the key word, you know.
Yeah, be patient
Patience,
with
be
yourself.
patient, and
you know?
just be patient and believe. You know, that's the two things. You know.
Yeah, be patient
Don't
with
have to
yourself,
be
but
like-
also push yourself forward. You know, like
Yes.
don't accept excuses from yourself anymore. You know, the same excuses they used over and over again. I mean, I'm speaking to myself too. You know, it's like with this whole YouTube thing. I've been talking about doing this for 5 fucking years, and I'm just now doing it. And it was literally that difficult and that simple as just hitting the fucking record button and sharing our
Just,
experiences.
saying your
you
mind.
know? And you can do that too, and you should do it. You know, it's like leave a legacy behind. You know what I mean? Even if you only reach one person, it's still worth it, right? You know, do not despise
Just spread
your
the
experiences.
virus of positivity everywhere you go. You know.
Yeah, like even your hardest experiences that you've had in your life, you know, even like all the times people screwed you over or whatever, like share those experiences and honestly treasure them, you know, because those experiences, whether you realize it or not, you know, those are like programmed into your algorithms, keeping you out of a lot of fucking trouble. And trust me, it was all worth it. Whatever you went through to get yourself to this point, or you're watching this video right now, and hopefully you're feeling inspired to get off your ass,
Yes.
stop procrastinating, do all the things you know you need to do to transform your life, trade all your bad habits for good ones, and start living like you were meant to live, you know, a life of abundance and prosperity.
Don't compare.
Yeah. And you get rid of all the drama in your life as much as you can, you know, like, you know, you don't have to completely ghost all the negative people that are dragging you down, especially their family. We can't choose their family or whatever, but you do have control over whose energy you choose to be around. And yeah,
I think we have enough for today. And
Yeah, you know,
we will keep talking about these things. The only matter is like just to be in a mindset, be in a zone of be in a mindset zone where you start making changes. Into life, any change. Food, sleep, going outside. Thinking positive. If negatives are coming into your mind, just start recognizing it. Okay, like this gonna put me down. That's the thing.
yeah.
You're able to control all the shit that is happening into your life, and you will be like an elevated soul after that.
Yeah, exactly. And spend time alone. Go out in the woods and meditate. Do your stretches. Eat healthy.
Yes, sir.
Love your neighbor.
Love you, never love God.
And yeah,
All right.
we'll leave it at that. Yeah.
See you then.
Yeah. Namaste.
Namaste. Bye bye.